What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be showcasing a replay between a face you may or may not know in ThunderTheory, an innovative and informative YouTuber whose link I'll leave in the description down below. And as you can see, he'll be facing off against Danger, P.U.N.K, Tears, the deck we're pretty much accustomed to seeing by now. But before I begin, if you happen to enjoy content like this, clicking on those thumbs up and subscribe are greatly appreciated, as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. So as we can see here, I feel both players open pretty decent here, and we'll see that the player in blue is going to start with the Tearlaments and going to use its effect. ThunderTheory there has no hand trap, so everything is going to go off here, and we'll see that the Foxy Tune will use its effect, sending the Solic, and then we can see the Solic get its effect, which will then get the Sharon. The Deer Note and the Tearlaments will synchro away into the Chaos Ruler, and then we can see Chaos Ruler Chainlink 1, the Deer Note Chainlink 2, reviving the Foxy Tune. And from there we'll see a Excavate 5 as he does go and hit and adds that to hand as he uses the Sharon effect in order to fuse away here, and he's going to go into Kit Kalos, as he's going to use Kit Kalos effect in order to add a copy of Rhinoheart, and from here he can use the Kit Kalos effect, special summoning the Rhinoheart, using the Rhinoheart effect as Chainlink 1, the Kit Kalos is Chainlink 2, and we'll see a Mill 5 here as he hits a pull and some Tearlaments names. I know not everyone is on the Goki pulls, some people like to play it, some don't, trying to turbo out the Danger Engine, but we'll see the summon of Garura here. And we'll also see that he is going into Mud Dragon with the second tier name effect, and we'll then see a summon of Bahamut Shark, which can summon a Toad. And from here we'll see a rank 8, which he goes for the Zombie Vampire, and we'll see it detach the Foxy Tune to mill 4 as he hits Snow, so that is a huge mill. And the ThunderTheory here is on Chaos Thunder, and this is something that he's played for a while now through different formats. I remember him being on the Sacred Beast stuff before this, but that's kind of why I show this replay here. It's to advocate for tier variants, as I just feel like there's a lot of cool things you can do while also having one of the more fun and versatile playstyles because of all the different things that you can throw in there. So we'll see the revival of the Mothman here, I believe, up the Zombie Vampire, and then we'll see a Curious summon. The Curious will use its effect, which will be Chainlink 1 followed by the Garura at Chainlink 2. And we see he's going to send the Zephyros and then mill 3 here. And we see he's also on Frankenderp there, as he's going to go into Appaloosa, giving him more negations along with the set of a Super Poly, which can be devastating at the right time in this matchup. But we'll now see the copy of Sharon finally special summon itself from the hand, and we'll then see the Nessie come down as the Jackalope is discarded. We'll then see a draw of a Chupa as the Jackalope is going to get its effect, special summon out the Bigfoot, and we're going to see the Chaos Ruler special summon itself back, as we're going to see a Link 4 into Griffin, and then Griffin will use its putting the Solic back on board, as well as discarding the Chupacabra, which can then use its effect, reviving the Mothman. He'll then use Snow as the resources in the graveyard, and from here we'll likely see a Redoer, and that's exactly what we see, as he's going to pass, and we'll see that ThunderTheory happens to draw Havness here. Redoer will get its effect, which will be followed by a chain of Havness, and Appaloosa will hit that, and we'll see that he's going to hit a monster. So because it's a copy of Rhinoheart and we see a tier full hand, if you see what I did there, it could be a benefit to him, but we'll see that we're going to get Appaloosa negating the Rhinoheart here. Sharon will then try to use its effect as we see a Toad, and Toad will steal that, setting it to its field. Toad will then add back the copy of Rhinoheart, as he's going to use the Chaos base in order to pitch the Merly, adding the Wyver Buster, And now he can use the Buster to special summon it itself, I think. And he's going to do just that, as he's going to use the Chaos base now. And the player in blue is going to use Redoer, as he's also going to use Snow on Resolution, and he's going to flip down the Wyvern Buster. But we'll see that the Snow is going to special summon itself, the Chaos space is going to get its effect, putting back the Collapse Serpent and drawing into Chupacabra, which will then see Instant Fusion come down, special summoning the Kikalos, and from there we can see the Kikalos use its effect, adding a copy of Sharon, and then we'll see the Havness use its effect, or the Kikalos, in order to revive the Merly, and then we'll see the Mill 8 here, as we see a bunch of dangers along with the Soliak. And, okay, so he's already used Merly, so he doesn't get the additional Mill 3. And, the copy of Soul is going to add a Merly. Chupacabra will use its effect. And this will hit the Sharon. Then we can see the Chupacabra draw into the Allure of Darkness. And, the Sharon will use its effect to fuse the Rhino Heart, kick Kalos and itself away into Kaleido Heart. And Kaleido Heart will put the Soliak back into deck. And from here, we'll see the Allure banish Merly, as now there's a Called by the Grave. Dark will be summoned here. He'll use the Dark to revive the Merly. Merly will then use its effect, so was I wrong here? Okay, no, so he hadn't used it yet. And we'll see that the Havness is going to activate its effect here, and he's going to fusion summon likely into Mud Dragon or Garura here, yeah, as Nessie as an Aqua. So we'll see that the Garura is going to attack over the Appaloosa. The Super Poly is going to come down here, hitting the Dark and the Garura, as we see Dragos Depelia come down. And this is just one of those scenarios where the Kaleido Heart not being able to be Super Polyed is really nice. And we'll see that the Allure is going to come down here in main phase 2, as he draws into Dragon and Planet, so that's a pretty big draw there, as we see the Havness get added here, and we'll then see the Thunder Dragon add another copy of Thunder Dragon, or both copies of Thunder Dragon, and from here we'll likely see the set of Called by the Grave, maybe into Mask, or we see Sprite Elf here, as Merly is level 2. And we'll then see that he's going to revive the Dark here. And yeah, that beats the Masquerena play by a lot. So we'll see that he's going to use the Dragos Depelia here. And he's going to top deck the Planet, the player in blue is. And that's another good top deck, as Thunder Theory does have a pretty sizable board. He doesn't have many interruptions. So we'll see that the player in blue here is going to bring out the Sharon, pitching the Merly, and now he's going to get the Merly and the Soliak effects here. And the Soliak is going to be chainlink to adding the Havness. Merly is going to fuse away into Kick Kalos here with 6 cards left. See the Planet attempt to pop Called by the Grave here. And he's going to chain the Called by the Grave to banish the Zephyros. The Sharon comes back face up, and with 5 cards left in deck, you have to wonder what he's going to do here, as he's going to link all of these away, wow, into Zero Boros, as we're going to see the activation of Snow here. And from here, we'll see if he's going to use Snow's effect to put the Kaleido Heart face down, as he does not. He's going to run into it instead, and he's going to use the Snow's effect again. I see, he's doing it for Zero Boros, and we'll see that the Zero Boros is going to attack for game there. And we'll see that this time around, Thunder Theory will be going first, and he's going to start with the Thunder Dragon here. And one cool thing about this deck here is how you see Snow in hand, and if you can get Snow and Thunders off mills, you get to the graveyard with your tier names, and even your danger hits. You can just set up some explosive advantage plays, and danger being able to rip the Thunder Dragon out of hand isn't necessarily bad either. as it just gets you another draw and you're able to thin your deck. But we'll see that the Kid Kalos is going to come down here. He is going to add the Solic. The Kid Kalos can then use its effect, special summoning out the Merly. We'll get a mill 8 here, as now he's setting himself up pretty well for his end board here, as he also has the Snow. We see the Garura come down. The Merly will fuse away and go into Mud Dragon with the Mothman. We see Sprite Elf come down here. The Garura will get its draw, drawing into Terraforming. And we'll see the Terraforming add the second copy of Planet. Then the Sprite Elf can use its effect, bringing back the Merly. And from here we can see the Merly and the Nessie go into IP. And he'll pass on that, as he's going to make his monsters untargetable now with Mud Dragon, as he also changes their attributes. So we're going to see that the Tsushinoko is going to activate its effect, and it's Sharon. The Sharon can then use its effect, which will probably go into Kid Kalos here with a tier name, as he sends back the Merly. The Kid Kalos can then use its effect here. The good thing for ThunderTheory here is that he does have Nib, he does have IP. There's a lot more he can play with this time around. So we'll see that the Sprite Elf is going to use its effect, bringing back the Merly. The Merly can now mill 3 here, and it does hit a Merly. So we'll see that the Merly is going to use its effect, and now he can use this and the Garura to go into the Dragos Depelia, and the Planet can even get him a pop, as the Kid Kalos is going to attack over the Masquerena now, and the Kid Kalos can use its effect, which he actually can't because Mud Dragon changed its attribute, so he can't target it with card effects, and it's a water, I think that's what he called, I don't remember. But we'll see that Chupacabra is going to get hit here, as it's going to use its effect, bringing back the Tsushinoko. And now we have a Link play for Dark, as Dark is going to use its effect and try to bring back the IP, as we see he's going to allow that. And here we'll see a Link summon into Zero-Boros, as we see a summon of Rhinoheart, and Dragos Depelia is going to Rhinoheart here. The Havness is going to come down, and we're going to see 3 hits here. I don't believe he hit a tier name. Oh, he hit the Sharon, but he already used the Sharon, so he's not able to use it regardless. The Solic will now be activated here, sending the Merly in order to negate the Zero-Boros. And that's going to prompt the player in blue to scoop. So, on to game 3, and we see that ThunderTheory just opened absolutely bonkers, but we see that the player in blue did too, as there's not gonna be much that can be done about Super Poly, unfortunately, and I feel like that Nibiru is also going to put in work because not many people play around it. So we'll see that the Rhinoheart is going to come down here. The Kid Kalos will be chain link 2, sending 5. He hits the Zephyros, and we'll see that the Rhinoheart will send the Havness. The Havness can then use its effect, and from there we'll see that go into Mud Dragon. The Sharon and the Kid Kalos will go into Garura. And from here we can see a rank 4 for Bahamut Shark, which she'll make Toad with. And before we see the Nibiru come down in order to prevent the Toad. And from here the player in blue kind of has to freestyle with the dangers and stuff, as he's going to get the Tsushinoko, and he's then going to use the Zephyros to bounce it back. And you see he gets the EEV off of the Tsushinoko, and we're going to see that the Tsushinoko is going to use its effect, but this time it's actually going to get hit, and from here it's going to special summon itself back. We'll then see a Think here as he summons the Frankenderp. The Frankenderp will then use its effect, pay 500, reveal the Nessie, and add the Nessie. From there we can see a Curious play here. The Curious will then send likely a copy of a tier name or something, as we do see a Solic. The Solic will then get the... We'll see that the Sharon is going to pitch the Goki pull here, and he's going to mill 3 here as the Gokipol can now add a copy of Mothman, and we'll see that the Nessie is going to use its effect here. ThunderTheory just sniping him out here, hitting the Nessie, and we're going to see the Nessie add a Chupacabra, as the Chupacabra is going to use its effect, hits the Mothman, and that draws into another Mothman. We're now going to get a rank 4 into Redoer, and the Redoer can now use its effect, detaching the Sharon. And we see that ThunderTheory is actually pointing out that he's already used Sharon, which he used off Kid, and we'll see that the Mothman is now going to get sniped here as we see a draw of another of Darkness, and the Merly will now be sent to the graveyard off the Mothman. Then ThunderTheory can add the Jackalope off of the Nessie, and we're going to see Dragos Depelia come out. And again, there's really nothing to stop the Super Poly here, as we're going to see a draw phase Super Poly, and he's going to admit defeat right there. So a match very well played. Along with the deck, I hope you all enjoyed watching. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. Bones, signing out.